Hello, welcome back to Beauty Bee. So I got a haircut. Um, it looked really great in the salon, and I do like it a lot. But I clearly have a little bit of a ways to go on figuring out how to style it. So let it air dry today. Not gonna do that again for a while, but I decided that I will 60s mod look today. I'm gonna put on some eye primer and probably put up a picture of my inspiration for this look. The picture that's up is of Pattie Boyd, who was one of the original supermodels in the 60s. This particular picture was taken in 1966, the day after, I believe, her wedding to George Harrison. Yeah, that George Harrison, Beatle. Girl was top of the world in 1966. What I really like about this look is that it's very of its moment, but it is something that I could see someone today wearing an only slightly modified version of out in the world and not getting strange looks. It has the features that we really associate today with the mod style. It has the sort of cut crease, it has the drawn on eyelashes, the rather nude cheek and lip products. But again, this feels like something you could wear out in the world without it looking like you were wearing a costume. So I'm going to start with the eyes. I'm first going to put a light shade all over my lid. I think that hers is white, but I'm actually going to go in with a light purple just because that's the color I want to use. I'm just going to take that on my finger. Okay, so pretty natural, but definitely some shine there and definitely a little lighter than my natural coloring. Now for the crease, I'm going to start with this angled liner and just work out exactly where I want the line to go, and then I'm going to fill it in deeper with this smudger brush. I'm going to use this matte dark brown. So it looks like her line starts pretty much in the center, and then it goes out to just past where her iris ends. So let's do that. Yeah, I like where that is. All right, so now that we've got that traced out, I'm going to do it on the second side. And then we'll fill in. I'm just trying to keep this as even as possible. Okay. Now with the smudger brush, same shade. I'm going to build it out. I'm just going to thicken up that line most of the way across. I'm going to leave it pretty thin on the very inside and let it sort of taper off at the outside, but thicken it up a bit in between. Okay, I think it landed just a little bit higher on this side than it did on this side, so I'm going to fill in just a little bit higher. Okay, and I'm gonna add a little bit more to the line in the inside so it really shows up. My hooded eyes are getting in my way again, as usual. Round that out. Okay. Now for the brow bone highlight, they went ham. So we're gonna go in with this stark white and just all the way out. Not quite to the temple, but getting pretty close. Going again. So I think that's the eyeshadow. For a liner, I'm actually going to use eyeshadow again just because I don't own a liner. I'm going to go in with this same angled brush. I'm going to clean it off a little bit and go into this black. Now she has just a little bit of a wing going on, which we're going to do first, and then we'll take care of under the eyes. So there's one side. Unlike how I usually do things, I brought that liner all the way into my inner corner. I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side, hopefully getting roughly even wings. It was roughly even. Very roughly. We'll call it good. So now here comes the most interesting part, and I think the thing that makes this the most mod are the little eyelashes that are drawn on under the eye. So we're just going to go into that same liner again. And these are really piecey. It looks like there's maybe 9-ish. So I'm going to just dot where I want to put a lash first to get them pretty much even. And at this point, if I don't like where it is, I don't have any other makeup on under my eye, so I could just wipe it off. So I ended up with 8 on that side. So let's get 8 on this side. All right, now let's draw them out. I'm just going to keep the ones in here probably pretty small. I think I might not even draw much more on probably the first 2 or 3. And then out towards the other corner of my eye, I'm going to get them a little bit longer. Not long. I mean, these aren't going to be like on my cheeks or anything, but longer. I like that. Okay, love that. Now I'm going to just put on some mascara on both my top and my bottom lashes. I'm putting a couple more coats of mascara than I usually do on, just because the lashes are important here. They definitely liked their falsies in the 60s. Okay. So that's the eyes done, and those are definitely the statement piece of the look. I actually don't know if she's wearing any blush in this picture. I kind of think she isn't, and if she is, it's very, very nude. But she does clearly have a little bit of contour on. So I'm actually going to go into this sort of mauve shade to contour with. I find that brown is usually a little too harsh. And really, I don't contour very much anyway, but brown almost always ends up looking muddy on my skin. So I'm just going to make a little triangle, basically, with this fan brush. You see that gives a little bit of a shadow, but it doesn't look natural. And hers doesn't look natural either. And it doesn't look natural, but it doesn't look terribly stark against my skin tone. Which is kind of the effect I'm going for. I mean, that's what I think of when I see hers as well. Maybe she is contouring with blush. But that hollow is pretty deep. So maybe she just has really great bone structure. She probably did. She was a model. Okay, so that's looking good. And I guess the lips are what we've got left. She's going actually pretty darn nude, but I don't have a super nude lipstick, so I'm going to use this Sephora lip stain, It's a little bit more of a beige leaning pink than my usual, and it does nude my lips out just a little bit. I don't need to go crazy nude for this particular look. Alright, and there we have it. Let's see, how did this turn out compared to hers? I think that my crease is definitely not as structured as hers is. I think that's partially just how our faces are shaped. My crease very rarely shows up that well, and putting it all the way up here on along my orbital bone would be a little too high. But I think that the contour turned out really pretty nicely, though looking at it from this angle, it could use some more blending. I love the lower liner, and I think the lips are actually a little closer than I thought they would be to the color she has going on. I'd like to see more of these somewhat historically inspired tutorials. I would love to do more. I think there's a lot of room for that in the beauty community of taking inspiration from past eras without turning it into a costume. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you will like and subscribe, and hope to see you next time. Bye!